So in the next decade, or not the next decade, in the next couple of months, in the next several months, I will do a live streaming if I reach up to 50 subscribers. If I pay the premium to see my subscribers, if I'm to see who am I subscribing to. So I will get up to 100 subscribers if possible on my first YouTube channel. It almost beat the world record close. So I want to thank you guys for making comments about it, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. You guys are my biggest fans. I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for voting, for casting a vote on any Mercedes-Benz cars, luxury cars. I want to thank you guys for casting votes on Mercedes-Benz SUVs, luxury sports sedans, and all the automobile lineup models and stuff. And I want to thank you guys for voting on the 2008 and the 2008 E350. I want to thank you guys for voting on the I want to thank you guys for casting the vote and picking the 2008 E350 4MATIC all-wheel drive sports sedan and the 2008 E350 sports sedan rear-wheel drive from Mercedes-Benz. So the 67% was the winner. So I want to thank you guys for commenting down below on my 2010 Mercedes-Benz winter event. And I'll see you guys in the next couple of months when I do an hour-long video. If I paid lots of money to clean up my storage because of my iPhone, it's been like that. It keeps telling me for several months now. So anyways, we're gonna watch the video of the motorcycle police chase. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. So this is my last video. I'll see you guys in the next couple of months. I'll see you guys in a few months. Okay? And I'll keep making videos. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. I'll be happy to look at them. So let's get started.
Breaking news, police tracking a speeding motorcyclist.
And Desmond Shaw is live overhead in SkyCal with more. Hi, Des.
No. Hey, Pat and Rudabay, here we go. Eastbound on the 101, this motorcyclist who is taking all kinds of risks came out of the South Bay, northbound 405, and flew up here in record timing. Now, CHP was in pursuit, but they backed off because of the ongoing construction in the Sepulveda Pass. So they've just been tracking it overhead. Here you see the spotlight. There's actually 2 helicopters, we believe, on this. LA County Sheriff's deputies and another agency that may be LAPD up here as well. You know, with these motorcycles, they're so nimble, so quick that, you know, sometimes it takes more than one helicopter to try to track one of these. So this got transferred over to the West LA office. They were hoping to get another unit involved in this now that we're through that construction zone and we're, you know, eastbound on making the transition to the Hollywood Split on the 134 on our way towards Burbank, Glendale, and beyond. But this suspect has just been going so fast and going all over the place, it's very difficult to try to get a unit re-engaged in this one. So it's one of those pursuits. You know, motorcyclists who want to like this and literally gamble with their lives, they do have an advantage when it comes to getting away from the police. Just the kind of reality of the situation here at the moment, Pat, Rudabay, and Mike.
Yeah, that's very, very true because they're certainly limited in what they can do. Can't really lay spike strips or do any kind of pit maneuver, especially when they're going this fast. That would certainly be very dangerous. So it's almost as if you want to watch this play out and see if they pull over eventually, or maybe exit, get on a surface street.
Yeah, and they've been chasing it for quite some time. I mean, this guy has covered an immense amount of distance in the short time that we've been following it. I mean, we did 405 near kind of the 110 areas where we first started hearing about it, and that was only maybe about 20 or so minutes ago, and we are already in Burbank. So
right.
He has covered extensive ground, and they did have to back off, as Des mentioned, in that construction zone. Not only because it was construction, but there was a lot of traffic it's the 405, and any time of night is not very good, but especially during the construction. And as Desmond mentioned, they've just not been able to get units in place because he's been moving through these areas so quickly. So you've got the helicopters that are overhead keeping an eye on it, and they are trying to get people in place, but they've just not been able to do it because of the speeds.
And that's really the difference between a motorcycle and some other type of vehicle, right? And that traffic around the Mulholland exit there on the 405, you know, a regular car might have gotten stuck and might have gotten caught in that period of time, but he just took off again and going at such high speeds.
And look at them going in and out of traffic like that as well. You know, when you said they want to get more vehicles in place, that just in case, like, they stop and they try to run, because, you know, I mean, you're going to have vehicles in place, but that's just really to give them a show that, yeah, we're following you.
Yeah,
and that's above and on the ground.
Right. So the way that CHP is broken up, they're broken up into different offices. So they started in the West LA office. Then when they came to the 101 and the 405, that's the West Valley office. So there's different units in those different offices. So the dispatcher was trying to get West Valley units in place, but by the time the West Valley units could start responding, now we're in Altadina's area. Now we got to get a whole new set of officers to try to get in place. And that's been kind of the challenge with this, is the guy's been going, you know, 110, 15, 20 miles an hour through these areas, and it's just not had those officers have enough time to get situated to be able to get behind him. And now we're coming up to the 134 and the 5.
Yeah, you know, at times he's been really kind of hard to see. You know, right here there's not a lot of light, and it's kind of hard to see him. It looks like he's wearing dark clothing also, and I can just imagine being on the road and not expecting something like this to come up behind you, splitting a lane.
And we've talked about that. I mean, all it takes is just one, you know, unintentional lane change from another motorist or something like that, that you don't see this guy coming behind you at 120 miles an hour while you're trying to change lanes, and then all of a sudden we've got, you know, a really horrendous crash that has happened. We've seen that happen.
Yeah, we have. Or it can hit a pebble. The tires can hit any, you know, going that fast on a freeway like that. That can certainly be upsetting as well. We've seen that happen before. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, not at all. It doesn't take much. And as Desmond, you know, said, this guy is definitely gambling with his life. And I think, we're through the 5 now, right? So we're in the Glendale area?
Yeah, we're in Glendale now, eastbound on the 134, and, you know, that's got to emphasize the risks that this person was taking in that construction zone when they disengaged the ground units. I mean, this guy was actually driving in the cone pattern up to like 90 miles an hour, was zigging and zagging through some of the cones. I mean, the way some of these motorcyclists just act like they're invincible, and, you know, as we know, they definitely are not. I mean, the two big disadvantages for a motorcycle is obviously their vulnerability, and one wrong move and it's game over. But the other one here that, you know, the authorities may be able to bank on is the fuel capacity. We know that motorcycles only carry a couple of gallons of fuel, and especially when you drive it like a rocket ship like this, you're just burning through that gas more quickly. We've definitely seen some motorcyclists who thought they were going to get away, and they were just kind of taunting the police and going on, and then all of a sudden the bike conks out, runs out of gas, and they're in handcuffs. So the suspect, you know, like we said, has already covered a ton of room. We don't know, obviously, how much gas is in the tank, but he's got to be going through it pretty quickly, and we've covered a lot of miles in a very short time. And, you know, you just kind of wonder what the suspect is even planning at this point, because there's still no ground units behind this. The helicopters had some trouble even keeping up. You know, if they wanted to formulate a plan, I mean, they definitely have the advantage to slip into the night, you know, at this moment, if the police are not ready to or able to re-engage on the ground.
You know, did we talk about this? The want for this, is it just speed, or is it just speed?
Yep. Yeah, just speed. I mean, and this guy has been going crazy throughout the entirety of this chase. And we put our number up on the screen there, 818-221-2222. You can text the desk if you've seen this guy. I mean, he has covered such an intense amount of ground throughout this 405, 101, 134, all the way from, you know, southern LA County, and now we're in northeast LA County as we're pushing through the 134 east of Glendale into the almost Eagle Rock area now as this is entering Pasadena. And yeah, speed is the want, and upwards of 120 miles an hour at times. It's been really crazy.
And staying on the freeways too, not getting off, right? We have seen recently some motorcycle pursuits that ended up kind of in downtown, or they went into parking garages and actually it got away. But usually on the freeway, they're able to stay with them, at least from above.
I feel like there's almost two kind of thought patterns for motorcyclists who run from law enforcement, which is either gun it and go as fast as I can and hope they give up and can't keep up with me, or get off on surface streets, hide under a bridge, go into a parking garage, something like that. This guy seems to be taking the first option, which is let me just run as fast as I can and never get off the freeway and hope that they get bored and stop chasing me. But law enforcement, CHP, has really taken an interest in this one, and as we said, they were right on his tails for as long as they could on the ground, and now there are 2 sheriff's helicopters that are overhead with him, keeping an eye on him. And as Des mentioned, you probably have 2 helicopters because it's so easy to lose them if he were to get off and slip under some canopy of trees or something like that.
And you don't have vehicles on the ground
Right.
to take that person into custody right away.
Right.
Or, really catch up with them, as it were. Guys, if we could go over, okay, these, evading police.
Right, felony evading, yeah.
So that, and what else? Speeding?
Yeah, reckless driving. They can probably get it with reckless driving, criminal excessive speed. But other than that, I mean, as far as we've known, the bike's not stolen. I don't know that they've ever gotten a chance to run the plate because of how fast he's been going. So they may be dealing with that as well. I haven't heard one way or another yet if they've been able to run the license plate. So they may not know much about this person. There could be more things going on, obviously. You always wonder why people run this hard, but we've dealt with motorcycle chases like this, and we'll call and follow up later, and they say, nope, they didn't have anything else going on. They just didn't want to pull over.
Yeah, you just never know, and the officers never know either. I mean, what must be going through their minds? They don't know if this person is, armed, dangerous, wanted for something else. They don't know anything about this person other than they're putting their own lives at risk and the lives of everyone else on the roadways right now.
And they did mention a backpack. There was one thing, and they didn't say, that he does have a weapon or anything like that. It was, he has a backpack. We don't know if there's a weapon in there. So that was something that they were certainly aware of in this circumstance when they were, chasing this guy and dealing with this and all of that. But yeah, and I can't tell, Des, is that just the screen of the speedometer on the bike, or is that a phone? Can you tell?
Ready for some grill math? 1 entree plus 1 entree equals...
I think that's just the speedometer of the bike.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure here is you really hope this guy's not going 125 and not paying attention to the roadway. But I think it might just be the bright screen of the bike right here. But yeah, I mean, all over the place. As we've said, one wrong move. I mean, we've seen it way too many times with these motorcycles. You just even more so than any of the other suspects, you have to wonder what is going on. If it's an ego thing, especially if there's nothing else. We know, I've always had a strong suspicion that there may be some sort of kind of underground, social networks with some of these motorcyclists that do this for clout or something. I mean, we know, we've talked many times about the almost nightly pursuit of motorcycles in Baldwin Park, where people, running away all the time. And I just kind of get this gut feeling that they're all kind of connected somehow. I mean, obviously, don't have proof of that, but it's just...
Alright, the motorcycle suspect had been driving fast at 120 miles per hour on the freeway, expecting someone speeding up, excessive force, trying to get away from the police, thinking about getting away, thinking about being invisible from the helicopters, but not gonna work from the... He was more vulnerable to go fast with the burning gas on his fuel. All of a sudden, the motorcycle went 100 plus on the freeway, and if he continues on, he runs out of gas. Sometimes they crash, but there was no ground units behind the motorcycle because of that construction. Wanted for only felony speeding, reckless evasion, upwards at 100 miles per hour at times, going crazy. Sometimes they do end up in downtown area, going crazy, going insanely crazy, being extreme, 102 miles per hour, and speeding, baiting on. They've called CHP, and it started near the 91 freeway in Wilmington, and they know, they wonder if these comes up of other countries. Like if it didn't, the South LA frequencies was the one that picked it up, chased it up to 405 freeway, handed off to the other officers, and the officer in the South LA, really high speeds. David's clocking him at about 106 miles per hour. He was speeding at 130 miles per hour in some instances, above the 90 miles per hour the entire time. Well, it was so difficult to keep up with because of the ground units, because of that construction. And sometimes they hide and act like the police never catch up to that motorcycle who is reckless. Traffic is light. He was on the eastbound 134 freeway, speeding up excessive speed force. They never ran the plate because they didn't want to. They can't catch up because it was too much traffic. They were afraid to crash into somebody. But it's not stolen. That belongs to that suspect. The officers never know, but they do need to know. All they could do is go into tracking mode. The suspect had his backpack on his entire this entire time. Wanted for speeding. He He refused to pull over and got away from the traffic stop. And as you can see, he gets back on the freeway, westbound 210 freeway. This pursuit has been going on. This police chase is going on. This has been going on for about 20 minutes. He was on the freeway the entire time. They've seen it too many close calls, too many times. Luckily, he did not crash the police. He didn't crash any other vehicles. And like it did happen with that motorcyclist in January of 2022, 3 to 4 years ago. He crashed and was pronounced dead at the scene. They were on the Orange frequency, which is the land of motorcycle chases that they go every night. In addition to that, 2 sheriff's helicopters that are overhead. There are now CHP fixed-wing airplane that is overhead. Very interested because bunch of eyes on this guy. They hear the communications on the frequencies from the two-way radio. They don't use, no, from the radio frequencies. They don't use a two-way radio. And as you can see, he gets off the westbound 210 freeway, getting off the freeway now, and they're at the Madrid Filia Avenue exit. Now let me zoom back out. Now he's speeding up. Now trying to get away from the police. And as you can see, a bunch of eyeballs that the news helicopters, police air units, been tracking him above this entire time for about 20 to 25 minutes, and now he started going into that construction. Oh, that parking garage. This is where he's wanted. This is a nice parking garage right off of Madrid Filia Avenue and the 210 freeway. He's not gonna come out. The police will catch up to him in about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, as you can see, the police helicopters with the night sun tracking the motorcycle overhead on the eastbound 134 freeway, gambling their lives, trying to get away. The news helicopters following the motorcycle overhead, they were backed off because it was the ground units. It is because of the construction. And you know, this is unfortunately how a lot of motorcyclists, they do that as top 10 best J.D. Power and Associates, like the J.D. Power mid-size braking car 2008 E-Class from Mercedes-Benz. If you guys check out the video, please check out those videos pop up here if you guys are interested. This is why when they sometimes all across the countries, all across the U.S., they try to pick up the pursuits. They do a TVI pit maneuver. Sometimes they do discontinue the chase. Sometimes when there's a bank robbery, they speed up at 60 miles an hour. They deploy the spike strip, and sometimes they do avoid it. The Pasadena PD down there, they came in. It took them a couple of minutes to get here. They got in here. They are detained at gunpoint. Luckily, no shots were fired. The CHP officers, one CHP unit came in. You see that? They came in. So the whole story why this person was running, but they're going to likely get their bike impounded. They're going to be in handcuffs. They're going to get this bike impounded. And then they're going to be taken into police custody. One suspect in custody.
Thank you.
And now
This Sunday.
this police pursuit came to an end as well. As you can see, that chase went on for the better part of an hour. And you know, other reasons as well. The pursuit went on the pursuit went on for about 30 minutes. The pursuit went on for about 30 minutes. The pursuit went on for about 30 minutes since the police started this chase. Went all the way from the eastbound 134 freeway, the westbound and eastbound 210 freeway, speeding up, driving recklessly, tries to get away from the police, but the police helicopters and the news helicopters did a great job keeping track, followed overhead. The police helicopters, the air unit with the night sun, done a fantastic job. They did a good job as the news helicopters for broadcasting. Luckily, they're lucky. We're lucky that they did not get into a restricted LAX's airspace. Thank goodness they were not allowed there as the news helicopters. Only the police air support unit helicopters can go above it with the night sun, not the news helicopters. I know they're very professional and doing their own jobs, broadcasting the chase. All my years of vlogging, making police chase videos, all of that, and some of them commented down below of that Anaheim police chase, shots were fired. Especially the car commercials. One of them did. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the individual for commenting down below on my 2004 Nissan Murano commercial that was aired in the U.S. in 2004 in Chicago, Channel 2, WBBM. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for so many viewers. Pretty soon we're going to do a live streaming. And we'll reach up to 50 subscribers. 55 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And hopefully we're going to make this a positively. And we're going to do this. Is if I paid for my own store, if I paid to clean up my storage, I will not need tons of photos on my phone. Enough talking about it, but the second part is the vidIQ. I will unlock and see my subscribers, who am I subscribing to, and my goal is to get up to 100 subscribers. If I paid a premium, if I paid $8.99 a premium, $8.99 per premium, I would get a play button, because I only noticed. Thank you guys for voting. Check out those videos pop up here. Thank you for watching, and my YouTube channel pops up here. My car commercials, 2008 Mercedes-Benz E-Class sports sedans, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, pops up here. Those videos pops up here. Comment down below. Drop your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys in the live streaming video soon on my YouTube channel. If I activate the live streaming, if I get 50 subscribers. So please, I promise we're gonna do a live streaming platform on my YouTube channel about the DUI driver in the gray silver Mercedes-Benz E-Class 2008 car of the year, 2007-2008 car of the year. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Happy Abraham Lincoln and President's Day. Happy Valentine's Day this weekend. If you fall in love, I'll fall in love with my own girlfriend. I would introduce her on my YouTube channel coming soon. Thank you guys. Bye.